Welcome to the TeamFourStar Podcast. I'm Kaiser Neko.
I'm
Tort.
Oh, and I'm Taka 101 this time, I guess.
Ah!
Damn it, I hate it when I have to be Taka.
You know what? You should just learn to love it.
I guess that's my only coping mechanism at this point.
But then you have
You
his
wear
luscious black hair, you know.
But then I miss all my chest hair and the fact that I can grow a beard.
Well, you know what? Hey, wait, that was an insult!
Ha ha!
Ah!
So guys, been a little while. We've been off doing a whole bunch of things. One of the things I guess we've been doing is finishing off episode 33. Your thoughts?
Yeah, we finished off all right.
Yeah, we finished all the way off on that episode.
I don't like the guy playing Trunks.
No.
You know what? It was
Perfectly honest. Gay.
Go ahead. Yeah, just a little.
Gay.
Just a touch. Like if you're like pouring a shot of gay, it's an overpour.
You know, not like the
What
first
he was-
take, you didn't hear them. It was like, so you like Frieza.
I get it, because he has a dick in his mouth.
What? I thought he was just trying to enjoy some food while eating. God, my mind's just too
I'll be
clean,
honest
I
with you,
guess.
like, Kaiser, I really liked your Trunks a lot.
I did too. I think it really works, and you know, I'm not trying to pat you on the back too hard here, but it really fit. And you know, I just remember how nervous you were going into it. You sending me clip after clip after clip, and not for the usual reasons of saying, "Hey, how is this edited?" It was always, "How does this sound all right to you?"
You weren't the only one. I was getting those too. Does this sound okay? And I had to tell Kaiser, no, that one, you need to redo that one.
See, yeah, there were a few that you had to redo, but you know, it's just
He's a complicated character in that every other character that I've ever done has been at the far range of my range. Trunks is right there, basically. He's just a step away from my actual voice. And so trying to play him, it's really intimidating, because I'm legitimately acting with that character.
yeah.
Well,
I have no idea what that's about.
Who are you playing, Lanny?
It's something from a time long past.
Oh, I've never heard of it. But no,
Yeah,
like
let's
it's kind
skip
of had
that.
the same feeling from when I play Bardock, because you know he's kind of down here. You just kind of just lower it a little bit, just put a little bit of a into it.
Yeah, difference is mine sounded good, so.
Oh,
Ah, snap. Yeah, closest I've come in this series to my natural voice, I guess, was Raditz.
yeah, I'd say Raditz was the closest.
And then bye, Raditz. I don't know. The last we'll probably ever hear of Raditz is in Kai 1, so that's it.
I don't know, after you've been recording for Vegeta long enough, you start to sound like Krillin.
True enough. Yeah, I guess that's pretty close to my natural voice at that point. After I record for Vegeta screaming his 10 billionth scream for the episode.
Yeah.
But
What were
it
your
is
favorite
a
jokes?
God, it's actually really hard to say. I've always loved, ever since we came up with the idea for changing the slogan on the back of Vegeta's shirt,
Yeah.
the reactions to those. Although I have to say, guilty pleasure of mine, since I've recently kind of gotten into the fandom, was the exterminate. And when I knew that we were doing that, I knew we had to throw the Dalek music into the background there. So
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty good for me. There was a couple beats that I really liked. I really liked Frieza's death with the blue screen slicing in half, and how many people we legitimately scared with that. That was a lot of fun.
I loved looking through the comments, seeing I had it on full screen at this time, you assholes.
Yeah, that was good. I really liked HBI Duquesne's King Cold. I wish there was more of him to fully enjoy, but unfortunately he had a short run. But the one line, oh, you know, easy come, easy go. Children? Yeah.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. Children? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny, because King Cold doesn't stick around for a whole long...
It's the funniest because of how much they like hype him up the couple of episodes beforehand.
Well, he's the father of the biggest villain the series has ever seen. I mean, Frieza was this, you know, tyrant of galaxies, and then we have the man who...
Just one galaxy, just one.
Oh yeah, the North Galaxy, but...
Yeah.
Solar systems, there you go.
There's four. There's 4 galaxies. That's it. Everything else.
and they
galaxy.
sit on a magnetic compass.
Yeah.
Whoa,
but,
what?
But King Cold shows up. He basically is just there to serve as to play off Frieza for a little while, and then he gets shot down in cold blood.
But I say my third joke.
I get it.
The third joke I love the most is actually your delivery of one particular line.
Oh.
So, what's your name? Can't say. Well, Mr. Can't say, how are you? That's
no,
not
Mr.
funny.
Can't say. I'm Krillin.
That's not funny.
That delivery of that line puts a smile on my face every time I rewatch it.
I think my favorite part about that scene is Krillin's shit-eating grin in the next shot, where he's just smiling and drinking his E-Tap.
It's good mood food.
Kaiser, what was your favorite part? Like you had to sit there in front of the in front of Premiere for God knows how many hours editing it. What part did you find the most joy in?
I will admit, it was a joke that we had been looking forward to ever since we started writing for the whole Frieza death thing from the very beginning. It was the blue screen of death scene. I know that was Sokka's, but I got to admit, like, it just came out about as perfectly as I had imagined in my head. Another joke, though, however, one that I particularly like just because of the pop that it keeps getting from everybody, is the scene where Trunks is lifting up the death ball.
Oh.
Yeah, every person I know who has watched that, and I've been there for them to watch it, has lost their shit at that scene.
It was great seeing that premiered live, though. I always love premiering an episode live just to see the reactions.
Yeah, and again, that was we got to see the reaction from the audience there too.
It was just great. But we'll get to Kitsune-kan in a second. But first, guys, how about a moment of silence for the loss of Frieza? Sorry, I f***ed that up. But yeah, Frieza's dead.
Yep, and now Martin doesn't have a character. Oh wait,
Damn
no,
it.
he has the announcer. He has the announcer that we never
We
use.
always forget about him, though, when we're scripting.
It's not so much that we forget, it's just like, and then the announcer can say something.
You forget.
What do we do with the narrator? I mean, I know the narrator opens and closes every episode of actual Dragon Ball Z, but it's kind of hard to keep our flow and still have it go, last time on Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
I just think we're not trying hard enough.
Yeah. We aren't true enough to the source material.
Yeah. That's it. Dragon Ball Z Abridged is now a fan dub.
That's all it is. But what were some of your guys' favorite Frieza moments before he passed on?
Oh, one of my favorites, and again, this comes down to the fact that I got to edit it, was the one where he's chasing Goku with his little, like, purple Kienzan.
Or the Macacopotamus.
Yeah, see, that entire scene was, like, I remember when I finally sat down to work on that scene, and I was so excited, and then I realized, oh, this is going to be actually a big pain in the ass to get done, because I had to do a lot of visual edits for that scene. Like, not a lot of people probably notice right off the top of it, but there's actually a lot that I had to do to make that shot look the way it does. But I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun, and I love how it came out.
Yeah, my personal favorite part was just his entire, like, his relationship and, like, the way he played off of Goku. Because I remember going up to it, how nervous we were about writing for that. It was like, oh my god, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? He's always dealt with these really cocksure characters until now. But then we just realized, Goku's just not going to understand what he's saying. And I don't know, that was just going back and watching some of that is my favorite stuff. It's just watching him being all cocky and smug against Vegeta, and because they played off each other really well too, like the way it turned out, and just watching it devolve into what it became when he was fighting Goku was amazing.
No, I gotta agree. We've had this conversation once or twice, and yeah, like I went back to watch those episodes, 28 and 29, I think they were.
Mm-hmm. All the way through 30, yeah.
Yeah. I really am happy with what we came up with. I'm not kissing our own asses. I'm just saying I really do enjoy it.
We're proud. Yeah. Taka, what was your favorite Frieza moment?
One scene alone cinched the character, as I liked him a lot with what we did with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was when Vegeta was staring up at the end of episode 24, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's like, no, Vegeta, please, give me some ideas. The thing is, Frieza had always been funny. And at that one point, with Martin's delivery, he was insanely intimidating to me. And I'm going to say I found Martin's delivery to be more intimidating than most of the original dub of the original Frieza. I found that one line more intimidating than everything they ever said. I think Kai Frieza was amazing and really came across very intimidatingly. However, Martin's delivery of that one line cinched that character as menacing.
Yeah, and then his following back and forth with Vegeta at the opening of the next episode, where it's like, oh, don't worry, I'm just a little bit absolutely livid.
Livid.
Like, please, I lost my chance at immortality too, and you don't see me crying about it. Oh yes, but you know the difference between you and I is I'll live long enough to regret it.
Although I do have to admit, if we have to come up with a moment that encapsulates Frieza for me, the episode where he shows up.
It's true. Episode 13 was
one of the funnest episodes we'd ever written.
Actually, no, episode 14 was the one where he actually starts talking. 13 is just where they land on Namek. 14 is the one where he's having the back and forth about baby seals and stuff.
Yeah, see, that basically gave us the character for Frieza.
It set the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Goodbye,
but
Frieza. You were a fantastic character. Maybe you'll pop up here or there in some flashbacks or flash forwards or,
In other words, see you in Hiffle.
See you in Hiffle.
But moving on, we actually just got back from a con run as well as another run. Kitsune Con, guys. Take, you and I went last year. Kaiser, this was your first year.
Yep.
What'd you think, Kaiser?
It was in Fox Valley. Kitsune Con. Fox Valley.
Near the Fox River.
Near the Fox River. And they you know what channel they watch their news on?
No.
CNN.
NBC.
MSNBC. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was really a lot of fun. I ate a giant pretzel.
Yeah, but Lanny could eat too as a snack.
Good times.
You know, the funny thing about that, going back after, last year, me and Lenny spent like an endless amount of time in the gaming room. This year, we didn't even go once.
Yeah, we didn't even go down to the lower level. But it's probably because, we had each other to hang out with. It was your bachelor party weekend, essentially. And we just, we're having fun hanging out rather than, going down and doing a whole lot of con stuff, which we still enjoy doing. I mean, we actually have a nice little video of the convention. If you want to check it out, it's on our new lovely website. And
it's actually a funny little video.
Yeah, it's fun. It shows some of the stuff
it's all worth just for your face.
Oh, totally. And of course, it's also on a new YouTube channel we put up. It's called TFS Unabridged. It's where I'm going to post a whole bunch of our behind-the-scenes stuff. Whatever. Feel free to check it out. Subscribe.
But yeah, I think the con started off interestingly because I ended up flying into Minnesota where Lanny picked me up from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up driving 6 hours. Oh, not 6 hours, about 4 hours?
It was 6 hours after the detours because thank God for, Wisconsin fixing up their road construction.
In the middle of winter. It's funny. You were so lucky you had your laptop. And you were so lucky my power charger could charge your phone via a laptop. Because then we wouldn't have known where we were going, Lanny.
Yep, needed it to plug in order to keep it charged.
It was a fun trek, though. We were just shooting jokes back and forth, and I was so tired. I just kept passing out for 30 minutes and waking up. And I would make you laugh, and I would go back to sleep again.
Yeah, it's actually how we came up with a moment with TeamFourStar episode 7, which I just recently posted. Check that out too.
It's also on TFS Unabridged.
It's also on the TFS Unabridged channel. You can check out all the moments of TeamFourStar.
Yeah,
I feel like we're using our podcast to plug our material, guys.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
I thought we should only plug things with an outlet.
No.
Well, we got to the con. Kaiser was there, already having fun, drinking wine. And then we enjoyed the first day. We bumped into, hung out all weekend with little Karibo, which was great seeing him.
Dude, it was fantastic to actually get to hang with him for a weekend.
Yeah,
that's right. It was just us and him. Nobody else, and that was nice.
It's great to actually, be able to hang out with him because the only other convention we really go to that he goes to is Youmacon, and God less of there are just so many damn people there.
It's true.
We love all those people, but there's just so many. We don't get time to actually hang out with each other.
This con was just the four of us, and we were in Lanny's room, and we were smoking a hookah, and that was so relaxing, drinking screwdrivers. Lanny and me stopped at a liquor store on the way to the actual convention.
Had to do it.
Oh, absolutely. And where we got birthday cake vodka, and then we found another.
Beer.
Damn it, that was my reveal. Root beer float vodka, which is a thing, everybody.
Yep.
And I got to tell you right now, it was so great just drinking and smoking with the boys. It was just...
Smoking hookah.
Smoking hookah.
Yeah, shisha. It's funny
Shisha.
because some people have seen the video and assumed that we were doing
What
fine.
is that? You guys, you don't smoke weed out of a hookah.
You can, but it's not.
I've heard people that do, but it's not what you do.
Yeah, that's not what you do with a hookah. It is a waste to do it with a hookah. It's a
For God's
poor
sakes,
decision.
man, people smoke opium out of hookahs. Get it together. It
yeah.
wasn't opium.
It wasn't. Do we need to say? Oh goodness, do we need to say? Oh, I guess we. Need
I hope we don't have to, but it wasn't. Anyway, we got to hang out with a lot of the other fun guests too.
Indeed. We got to hang out in the green room with Lise Wilkerson, Warkey, Dave Vincent,
Tango.
good old Daryl.
Dave,
Oh, it was good to see Daryl again.
Yeah, Daryl.
I haven't seen him since Manifest.
You know who's
Exactly. And
It's weird seeing somebody on the opposite side of the world and then seeing them again in Wisconsin.
Yeah. you know who was a total boss though?
Ooh.
Dave Vincent.
Hey, Vince.
David.
awesome.
The voice of Grimjoe,
Grimjoe,
Jagger Jackson, and Bleach. And I'm going to tell you right now, dude, so much energy. Very inspiring fellow. Actually had some really awesome words of encouragement for me.
He's sort of exhausting in a way.
What was?
That guy, he gets up at like 6 a.m., goes and works out, and then does his con day. After going to bed at like, what, 11, midnight, something like that?
Hey,
I don't know. That guy's got energy is all I'm saying.
Hey, if I had that guy's energy and drive, I could do that too.
Nah, man, the man is a very, very, very awesome man.
No, he was fantastic. He was
Everybody was
also
a lot
super friendly.
everybody was a lot of fun to see.
And how can we forget about Laura, though?
Oh, Laura.
Laura Post was there, the voice of Ari from League of Legends, and the voice of our hearts. She was such a sweetheart the whole damned weekend.
Yeah, she's a good friend of Martin's, and therefore a good friend of ours. Taka, you and I met her the year before, and
and
was she at Martin's wedding? I can't remember.
Yes, she was at Martin's
Okay, so
wedding.
yeah, we saw her there.
That's where- I think
That's
that's
where
where
we
we-
originally met her. Yes.
That's where we met her first, actually. It was really cool, and then it's just really cool to see her because she's just such a inviting, nice, and kind person. I don't have enough kind words to say about her. I mean, she's terrible. Ah,
What a horrible lady.
Laura. Yeah.
Yeah, everything went amazing. If you want to check out and see how it went for us, check out the video. Like I said.
It is
Moving
much
on.
fun.
Moving on, Kaiser. You got a little extra weight on your one of your hands there now, don't you?
Actually, this ring probably weighs less than the engagement ring.
Does it?
Yeah.
I was just implying that you got married, so.
Oh, yeah. I might have gone all the way up to Maine and stood out on a beach and had my family and friends watching as I exchanged vows with another man.
And then you danced with him and kissed him. It was so gay, adorably gay even.
It was definitely
An emotional experience.
the best couple days of my life.
Aww.
Legitimately, the worst part about the wedding was the fact that it ended. Like,
Oh.
I remember that night, and I was watching people leave the room, and I was just like, no, this is like every con I've ever been to and watch it. Like, this is like every single con I've ever been to, watching it close down and people leave, rolled up into one.
Mm.
Because every person there was somebody that I cared about. And every person there just mattered the world to me, and they all got to experience that with me, and my wedding was awesome. Like,
It was actually great to meet some of your family and quote unquote real life friends. Just some of the people that you grew up with. It must have been really interesting for you seeing the worlds collide.
oh, it was, at first it was intimidating, but then about on Friday night when I noticed that everyone was getting along with each other and making jokes, I just realized that I was the luckiest man there because I am surrounded by some of the most fantastic people.
I'm proud to say that me and your friend Yama ruined it with a terrible prank that we can never utter on this podcast.
They pulled a wonderful prank. Their prank made that night. Like I can't even begin.
You were ready to pissed.
You were ready to punch me in the face.
Let me without going into detail. Taka and my best friend Yama made me think that Taka had done something incredibly stupid. And it was marvelous because they had never met before. And so just to see them pull this fantastic prank, I almost took Taka outside of the restaurant where we were eating, and I was about to bitch him out because of what, like, it was amazing. I was so happy. I was like, just to see.
You weren't happy, you were fucking livid.
No, afterwards, after I found it was a
after
prank.
you were done punching him in the shoulder endlessly. You son of a bitch, don't do this to me.
Good pizza.
So happy and full of joy on my hot, lovely weekend.
Good pizza, good pranks.
Good pizza that night, though. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, oven cooked pizza. We had Maine lobster. Oh
yeah, and the sushi place for lunch.
Yeah, and I got in there a little earlier than other people, and you, me, and your now husband went out for amazing Indian food.
Oh yeah, we had the best Indian food in probably all of Maine. Like that's the best Indian food I'd ever had. Hell, it's the best Chris has ever had, and he's very picky about his Indian food.
yeah, it's just crazy. HBI 2K, Megami 33 and her boyfriend. Ganxing Ba flew all the way up. Our friend Caitlin,
I'm
so many.
follow.
No whacking, one kids. Katie, Julia, John.
What was it like to have the internet people show up, actually outnumber the amount of family and like close personal friends?
But again, that just shows you that, while I love my family, I am so lucky. Like, I can't even begin to just say how lucky I am to have made so many fantastic friends. So, thank you guys so much. I love you more than I can even begin to tell you.
Aw, it's even gayer in here now.
But
it really, it really was fun. But yeah, unfortunately, it had to come to an end. And you, Chris, and I flew out of there at 6 a.m. Jesus, had to get out of there at I remember that. Taka, you, me, and Caitlin were in the room. We were just sitting up and talking all night, just because none of us could really fall asleep after the day.
Yeah, exciting day.
And then
we drank $300 Jameson whiskey. I couldn't sleep. I needed to experience.
Oh, it was so good. The scotch was older than me. Oh God! But yeah, it was amazing. But we had to come back, and later on the next day, we uploaded a fun little April Fool's video on my channel.
Oh boy!
It was something everybody had been asking for. Like, seriously, we got 1 or 2 messages a month about this, and we had nothing to do with the first one.
You're actually lowballing that.
Probably am, but we had to upload a Bridgemon episode 2, which we scripted in one session while drinking. So that's all it was. We just got drunk and scripted and decided to take the piss out of our friends.
By take the piss, Lonnie means literally remove their urinary tract with a hatchet.
Ooh.
Yeah, well,
that's rather brutal, but it works.
We meant it kind of like all in good fun for the most part.
Well, what it really was us just basically sitting back and going, you know what? We're just going to make fun of everyone, just positively.
Everybody who was involved in this, and probably a few more people, just whoever we were thinking of at the time, we just made fun of in the video.
Yep.
And it showed. I see, honestly, it's a video that really felt like it was more for us and for them than for anybody else, because there are so many people who are like, I don't get it. What's going on?
I still love that we actually got to film the live action part at the end at your house when I landed.
Yeah.
That was
brought everything full circle.
Yeah.
It was just too much fun to film that. And for those who are wondering how I closed the door, by the way, there were 2 takes. One in which I closed the door on Nappa's head and the head slowly slid as I was closing it. And there was a take where I caught the door with my foot, and as I was jumping out the door, kind of pulled the door closed with my leg. It just so happened in that take, it closed perfectly.
Yeah, I was actually, that's why I went with that take. I'm like, that's impressive.
There have been like a lot of questions about the Ghost Napa Muppet that we have. And we originally bought that for you, Taka.
It's true, but I'm surprised there's more questions about that Muppet and not the ball gag I was wearing.
There have been questions about that.
Oh, yeah.
That and the amount of cocaine on my desk.
By the way, I need that ball gag back.
It's not meant for the mouth.
Kaiser, I caught it at the wedding. I'm going to keep it. All right.
But yeah, Bridgemont, we had a lot of fun doing that. Like, seriously, the clips that I saw of that, I hadn't laughed that hard at. Like, I'm not gonna lie. On paper, we didn't think it was gonna turn out that good. It came when we had it on paper. It was like, this is gonna be all right. It's gonna be what it is. Lanny,
this is gonna be a thing.
This is gonna be a thing. Lanny, post it on your channel. Okay.
By the way, when we say that good, we don't think it's ostensibly or objectively great, because the truth is, it's very esoteric.
We just think it came out way better than we thought it would.
Yeah. And again, it's really just a joke about our friends and about us. Again, esoteric as shit, so. But yeah, we love it. We had a lot of fun with it. And if anybody else did, then that's great.
But yeah, moving on, we do have a winner in our little random-ass fanfic contest from last week.
Yay!
Which, there were a lot of entries, some of which, were played for yucks, some of which were played for serious. We kind of selected this one that was, it's good given the source material.
Yeah.
It came down to like two. Like it came down really hard between two. Like we liked a lot of them, but the two of them kind of came up top. But I guess we'll just choose this one right here. From the Diary of Dr. Watson, Saturday, July 6th, 1895. A remarkable set of circumstances surround my friendship with Holmes. No doubt there is already a degree of fame and infamy surrounding our exploits, and I expect my grandchildren will still be telling wilder, more fantastical stories. There is still one occurrence, however, that hopefully no one remembers, that haunts me to this day. Even as the leagues and years march on, the devil, I'm afraid, is consistently in the tiniest details. And may the buyer beware. Holmes and I, exhausted after uncovering an insidious plot to defenestrate an heir to the Rocket and Rocket Company fame and fortune, unexpectedly found ourselves in an Oriental's trade depot. Unique and strange are the wares one can find in such places. Stranger still, the good Kismet found us within arm's reach of what Holmes called the world's finest stimulant. "Gloom," he said insistently. "I choose gloom." After some light haggling, Mr. Holmes reached a fair bargain and made no hesitation dipping into his purchase with urgency. He's awfully good at tracking down those kinds of questionable things, or so I've noticed. I don't know what heavenly fire ran through him, but no sooner than he indulged, he began sputtering nonsense, the like of which I'd never heard, nor expected from such a sharp, mechanical mind. He began sweating profusely and refusing my medical expertise, insisting that the drug was speaking, uttering non-stop its own name. By Solomon's Grundy, I'd never heard the like. Even at his most erratic and irritable, he was never like this, and it frightened me. I escorted him home, locked the door, and kept a close watch on the indisposed Holmes. In his mania, he refused all food and drink save the occasional wash of water to cure his dryness of mouth. He began ejaculating the most blasphemous prophecies. 2 great mushrooms enveloping the Far East, great metal balls watching us through our teeth, and that his real name was Ash, son of our Lord Jesus Christ. He reported he did not know where his mother was, and why Professor Oak, I'm assuming some distinguished Cambridge educator, would not stop beeping. When speech was lost to him, he could only rock to and fro in agitation, uttering the same name over and over. Gloom. Some time before morning, he began to come around, or so I thought. Like a thing possessed, he roared that he was going to catch them all, and began throwing his belongings at me. I left immediately, barring the door from the other side of the entrance. How all of Baker Street was not awoken, I do not know. I heard him breathing heavily on the other side, no doubt worn out from the effort. I don't know when I fell asleep. I awoke to the welcome sound of the usual morning violin tuning. Unbarring the door, I stepped carefully inside. I cannot believe even now what I saw when entering the home of my longtime friend and colleague. Scrawled repeatedly from wall to wall and ceiling in a precise and eerily familiar ink, the final lines of Revelations. I dare not write them, even now, such is my horror at the sight. "Watson, welcome back," he said cheerily, seemingly unaffected by the disarray. "You'll be finding a new decorator, I hope." "Jokes of all things, Holmes," I stammered. I couldn't believe the sheer indolence. "Damn your eyes, you nearly killed me!" "No, Watson, jinx. And if you'll be kind enough to answer the door, there'll be a correspondence from one Franz Ferdinand waiting. You are to tell him that we are currently uninterested and that he could not possibly benefit from my services." I was greatly troubled, but no sooner had he finished, a knock on the door came. With deft hands, he produced a written letter addressed to one Gavrilo Princip. "See to it that he gets this mailed to him. He's got to catch them." And that's how fanfic is made, folks.
I'm not gonna lie. When I sleep tonight, I think I have my dream set in motion.
Yeah, the amount of creativity that churns in some people is fantastic. But moving on, I actually kind of wanted to start this new segment that we have, or a new segment for the podcast. I like to call it, mailbag.
Mailbag!
Mailbag!
TeamFourStar Mailbag!
And that's the mailbag song. It's not very creative at all.
You
but
know what?
it's just I decided to look through our TeamFourStar YouTube questions, just because I had that kind of free time one day, and I said I'm going to select some of these because we get a lot of questions, and I feel the best way to answer them would be on a podcast rather than making FAQ specials every some odd months, despite the fact we haven't made one in probably 2 years now.
Lanny Bator, could you please ask me a question?
All right, guys. Question number 1 here. Do you plan on abridging Battle of Gods? / when are you planning on doing Broly?
Okay.
Do we plan on doing Battle of Gods, guys?
The biggest problem with the idea of doing Battle of Gods is, one, Battle of Gods takes place so late in the storyline, so far past anything that we've gotten to, characters we've even designed, that it doesn't seem right to jump all the way forward and do it, because we'd have to come up with characters and it wouldn't work out.
We'd have to plan out Boo. We'd have to plan out Mr. Satan. We'd have to plan out Videl, Goten, Trunks, and we aren't going to make that kind of commitment.
Guys, they're all gay.
Perfect, and they're all ghosts. They're all ghosts.
Everyone's a damn ghost nowadays.
So do we plan on abridging Battle of Gods? Maybe at some point in the future, but it's going to have to be when the actual show that we're doing catches up to it.
Yeah.
And as for Broly, same, pretty much.
We're flat out doing Broly.
We have plans for Broly.
We have many plans for Broly, but I'll take this one here. Once we get to the part in the series where that fits, then that's when we're going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, we still have, what movies do we still have? We still have Return of Cooler. We still have Android 13, right? Those are the...
Exactly.
And then,
those are the two.
Then we get to Broly.
Then we can do Broly. It'll
getting another movie, History of Trunks.
Well, that's a special, but yeah, we'll consider that a movie. I mean, we'll probably do Broly right before the Cell games, which is technically when it would have occurred, I guess. I don't know.
Guys, I just realized.
What?
We should make Broly a bro.
Go to hell. Moving on to the second question. I've got it right here. Please consider bringing Ghost Nappa back this season.
No.
Question. Yeah, okay. He's alive.
No, let's hear this out. Let's hash this out. Here's the thing. I came back to life at the end of season 2. I am now an exec
in a post-production film industry company place thing.
And you casually play video games on the side.
Exactly, on Tuesdays Play YouTube channel. You can find it on YouTube. But anyways, I'm alive now, so I can't be a ghost.
Yeah, here's a question that actually kind of boggled my mind. Are you selling this account?
How much you offering?
Good question. I want to say no. We are not currently selling the account.
Unless you're buying.
Unless you're buying. Yeah, sure, why not?
That'll be that'll be $1 per subscriber per member.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. Okay, here's an actual legitimate one though.
Right.
What do you guys use to record?
Blue Yeti.
You blew a Yeti?
Okay, no, okay,
See what I
look,
did there? I was
look.
waiting for that. So you use a Blue Yeti microphone
Yes.
by Blue Microphone Technologies.
Yes.
Okay, Taka, you use the same thing, right?
I Blue Yeti. I need to upgrade my setup after seeing your microphone when I was over there visiting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I need to upgrade again because I've had nothing but issues with my Blue Yeti. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't balance appropriately from a recording area. So I mean, unless I change up my whole recording setup, which I might need to do because I am getting to, we're getting closer to sell, and recording quality will be very important for him.
Yeah, I used to actually rock the Blue Yeti as well. I did have to upgrade though because, after its years of service, I kind of blew that one out, or it just kind of stopped working on me just randomly. Like it was saying I needed codecs, but a Blue Yeti is a codekless microphone. So I didn't even know what it was asking for. I tried everything, but then I just decided, whatever, I may as well take this time to upgrade. So I got myself a Blue Spark digital microphone, and it's pretty. I call it Sparky. So yeah, that's what we use to record. If you're asking about programs,
Audacity.
yeah, these guys use Audacity.
The audacity of them to
I like to use Adobe Audition personally, but that just depends on what you have, what you need. Audacity's free, so that's a good reason to use Audacity. I use Audacity for a lot of things, but for when it comes to actually recording for episodes and things like that, I use Audition because it gives me a lot more tools to work with.
Yep.
And here's the last one for this one. Do you guys hold auditions?
No. Well, yes, but no.
Yes and no. We ask people to audition, right?
We have closed auditions. We have a lot of people that we work with and scout out. And
Yeah,
now, I know I'm using the phrase scouting out, and a lot of people may perk their ears and think, oh, maybe if they see my material, they'll ask. Really, it comes, we work in a tight-knit group, not because we like to be elitist, and not because we like to be cliquish, but because we like to be able to rely on people that we know personally. Our show is really important to us, and keeping it consistent and having someone reliable are two very important things to us. So going outside of our group is something that we have to be very careful about.
Yeah,
If we were to cast someone who is unproven, and it's not even just about acting, it's about the ability to hand in lines. That is a big deal. The people we work with are those we trust can hand in their lines.
And even then, sometimes they don't.
It's true. And it's a very frustrating thing.
It's just, it's usually just, when we don't know the person personally, it's usually a friend of ours that does know them, and they can vouch for them. So while we do hold auditions, they aren't open ones. So for everybody who keeps messaging us saying, hey, can I try out for this part? Sorry. It's just not how we work personally. And that's all I have for the messages at this point in time. If you do want your questions answered on a future podcast, please feel free to message us on YouTube. Use the subject mailbag.
Mm-hmm.
Subject mailbag. We'll try to get to as many of them as we can. Obviously, we won't be able to get to all of them. So if you don't hear yours answered, sorry, feel free to message it again because it probably will get buried by other messages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that about brings that to a close. You guys want to talk about anything else? I mean, I know, Kaiser, you just recently got BioShock Infinite. Taka, have you beaten it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, you and I have both beaten it, so let's spoil it for Kaiser. No. We won't spoil it, but I fucking love that game. It's a lot of fun, and I'm kind of pissed off at all the people who are calling it racist.
Yeah, that's really frustrating.
I'm sorry, calling it racist. That's the game itself is supposed to be like a.
It's a commentary.
It's a social commentary. It's of an idealism that could have existed technically. It's
it's of an idealism that did exist.
It did exist, but it exists to an extreme in that one. In regards to it treats the American founding fathers as Christ-like deities.
Well, even
it was more or less. I don't know what the term is. Neo-Americanism. I don't know if that is the correct term for it. What that essentially is, but it brings up slavery and the treatment of immigrants, and that is in America's history. And people get all uncomfortable because it gets brought up, but that's history. That has actually happened, and you have to learn history to learn from it.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it silly when people are like, "Oh, this game's racist." It's like that's kind of the point of some of the scenes, though. It's racist. You're supposed to feel bad about the shit that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, the people who are saying and doing these things are the villains. It's like when Christ groups, like super Jesus freaks, all talk about like, well, He-Man's evil because it has Skeletor. Yeah, Skeletor's the bad guy. But the game itself is a damn lot of fun. By the way, I like how we just compared racism to Skeletor.
Yeah, duh.
White people.
By the power of White Skull.
By the power of my white privilege.
How far into the game are you right now? I mean, without spoilers.
Okay. I can say this with it being just vague enough that only the people who have played it will get it, but no one who has played it will understand it until after it's already happened.
Although by the time this podcast's up, I bet you'll have beaten it. So
probably. I just entered the Riv.
Cool.
Oh, okay, that's cool. It's just sweet.
Yeah. That's since you only mentioned that one, it's pretty vague.
Well,
but
shit just got crazy.
Yeah.
Shit gets crazy really quickly in that game. It starts off, everything's nice.
Yep. And things just keep going without spoilers. So
the official crazy shit just happened. Like the start of any crazy shit that'll probably happen. That was it. And I'm excited. I'm very excited, but I'm also very nervous because
I'm looking forward to your reaction to the ending, honestly. I really enjoyed it, although I think that it adds some missed opportunities that will probably be taken care of in DLC.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Yep, we will find out. I don't know. I'd like to talk about movies with you guys, but I think I'm the only one that saw the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I did not see it.
The only movie I've seen recently was that Oz movie, and it wasn't good.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Evil Dead, I thought it was like mediocre at worst. Honestly, the actors, they did an all right job. They were people in a movie. They were essentially meat bags there to get slaughtered. So what are you gonna do? But the movie itself, while playing on a lot of the tropes of old horror, it did a good job of really kind of. You could tell that the director really enjoyed the original trilogy.
Oh yeah.
And there were subtle nods here and there, some subtle, some blaringly obvious to the old movies. And I don't know. Perhaps if I had been in a different mood going into the movie, I would have disliked it. But I actually, you know what, I enjoyed it. And probably the only thing I really disliked was its handling of the Necronomicon. They kind of turned it into a picture book, and I don't know. It kind of irked me a little, but
it has a mouth.
No, it doesn't.
Hello.
But it's I don't know. Just the way they handled the Necronomicon itself, it irked me. But I was able to look past that.
So you're saying, Lanny, you would give it 6 groovies out of 10 groovies?
6, maybe 7.
Okay.
You know what movie I'm looking forward to at the beginning of next month?
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
I really hope it's good. After Iron Man 2 being as disappointing as it was,
Coming off the Avengers, I think it should be good. Considering, isn't this going to be Robert Downey Jr.'s last "quote unquote" Iron Man movie?
Yeah, it's his last Iron Man movie. He'll do the Avengers movies,
and he might show up as cameos in other movies. But
yes, but he's not doing any more Iron Man movies after this.
There's no plans for any more, unless from what I understood, from what I read, there's no plans for any more. unless a really good script is dropped on his lap. In other words, if something blows him away and makes him want to make a fourth one, that's the only way it's being made.
But I'm hoping this one turns out good. Speaking of Iron Man, though, I actually just got my Avengers Phase 1 Special Edition Collector's Set.
Nice.
Awesome.
I was so excited. It got delivered yesterday. I ran down. I skipped back up to my room, opened it up. I'm like,
I actually got some good news. If you on Avengers related, I can now confirm that I have agreed to the terms. I'm getting the full Avengers Loki cosplay made.
Nerd. So nerdy.
Thanks for being supportive, guys. It's great to see
You're
you
welcome.
guys.
To be
Nerd.
fair, that is pretty supportive because we're nerds too.
That's true. So nerd. But it's not the one with the helmet and the cape, the stupid outfit. It's the one where he's in prison. So, it's his good outfit.
Sounds like fun. I've always wanted to do some cosplay, but it's so expensive, and there's no one
I've actually said no. I was actually going to do a Game of Thrones cosplay, and I had to turn it down for this cosplay. I was actually going to cosplay as Bronn.
Because you couldn't afford it after this one, I'm guessing?
Pretty much, the way I looked at it right now, I want to do a lot of costumes. I really do. I really love doing it, right? But unfortunately, I don't have a lot of free time, and I'm not made of money, essentially.
Yeah.
So I had to choose what I wanted. If I wanted to do 2 really nice cosplays or 1 super cosplay, and I won't be making a cosplay for about 2 years after this. So I decided on the super cosplay because in the end, I did my casual suit Loki, and that people loved it, and I'm so happy that they did because I had a lot of fun doing that, right? And I want to go the full Monty with it because if I don't, I'll regret it,
By the way, full Monty means taking off all of your clothes.
Yep.
I did, okay, that's a bad way of putting it.
Is.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I have a couple different videos in mind. One of them might be a music video, and I've actually talked with some local people with cameras and boom mics, so that might just happen. But I actually did see a movie, Lanny.
Oh?
I watched From Dusk Till Dawn.
I love that movie.
What is it with you and coming on these things and talking about movies that are 30 years old?
I want you to understand, Lanny. All I was told by a friend was, you should watch From Dusk Till Dawn. So I saw it on Netflix. I didn't read the description. I just clicked it. And I'm watching this movie starring Quentin Tarantino and George Clooney, And it's pretty dark. It's intense. There's religion. There's God. There's Cheech. There's no Chong, but there's Cheech.
Of course.
And then
Robert Rodriguez loves Cheech.
Yeah, he really needs to not cast him as 3 characters, though. I mean, I love me some Cheech as well, but as 1 character, please. So, and then I get through the first 2 acts of the movie, and then the 3rd act happened.
Yep.
And I'm just I'm wondering what happened. Well, this is a great Quentin Tarantino-esque movie. Hey, I have this script from this unmade Evil Dead sequel. Let's just take the 3rd act of that and just shove it in here.
I'd love to see somebody fall asleep in the middle of Dusk Till Dawn and wake up for the 3rd act.
I honestly,
I felt like I was having a fever dream while watching the 3rd act, and what the shit? Because it was goofy. It was ridiculous. The first half of the movie was gritty and realistic. The second half was goofy.
I wouldn't call it goofy.
Yeah, it's bear in mind that is Robert Rodriguez you're talking about.
The one guy was turning into the vampire. And it was all comical. Dun, 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 dun. He was trying to hide his hand, and then he creeps up behind the guy. It was like this. I was giggling. I was like, what? And then everyone exploded. Damn.
Yeah, to be fair, it was 1996, so it still had some of that, mid-90s cheese to it, but I still love it. I love I love all of that movie top from bottom just because of how unique it really is. I also love the vampire stuff at the end, too. I thought it was really well shot.
It's a fun movie. If those of you who haven't seen it, if you get the free time, go ahead and check it out. It's fun. Yeah. I don't know. What can you say? It's Robert Rodriguez just having fun with a movie. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I think that just about does it for the Team4Star Podcast this time around, huh, guys?
Sure.
Yeah. Until next time, check out our videos. I don't know. Bye.